Her mouth says nothing, but her body, it's shouting the truth. Women rarely confess attraction directly. Instead, they speak a hidden language, a language written in their eyes, their lips, their touch, and even the way they stand in front of you. Most men miss it. But once you learn these psychological facts about women's body language, you'll never see her the same again. Before we begin, take 2 seconds to hit that like button. It really helps this channel keep growing. And if you're new here, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the powerful insights we share on female psychology, love language, and human behavior. One lips, the silent signal of desire. Picture this. You're sitting across from her at a cafe, coffee in her hand, a little smile forming on her face. Conversation is flowing. Maybe you're cracking small jokes. Maybe the air between you is already charged. Then, suddenly you notice it. She bites her lip or lightly runs her tongue across it. Now, here's the thing. Most guys brush this off as nothing, just some random habit. But psychology says otherwise. Lip biting, licking, or pressing isn't just idle movement. It's a subconscious cue rooted in arousal, nervous excitement, and tension release. When blood flow increases due to attraction, lips swell slightly. Biting them is her way of self-soothing, of releasing the energy building up inside. Think of it like a pressure valve, her body trying to handle the storm of emotions without letting it spill out in words. Now, not every lip movement is sexual. That's where awareness matters. If she's biting her lip while scrolling on her phone, that's different. But if she's doing it while looking at you, especially if her eyes linger on your mouth or she holds your gaze just a little too long, it's a sign, a quiet, almost hidden signal saying, I'm imagining what it feels like to have you closer. Story time. One man once shared how he ignored this cue for years. Women would give him that small sign, but he dismissed it. Later, when he learned about nonverbal attraction, he realized he had missed countless opportunities. It wasn't about pushing the moment, but recognizing that her mind was already in a place he hadn't acknowledged. Psychologists call lip biting a regulation behavior. It's her way of keeping desire in check while simultaneously hinting at it. It's paradoxical. Her lips are silencing her emotions while revealing them at the same time. And here's the truth. Once you train yourself to notice it, you'll start catching it everywhere. So the next time she's in front of you, leaning in, biting her lip gently, understand this. Her body is saying what her mouth won't. And if you're smart enough to catch it, you'll never miss the invitation again, to touch the warm invitation. Let me tell you something. Women rarely say, I want you, out loud. That's too risky, too vulnerable. Instead, they use touch, a brush, a graze, a lingering hand. Imagine this. You're walking beside her and suddenly her hand lightly touches your arm. Or maybe during laughter, she leans in and lets her palm rest on your shoulder longer than necessary. Small, yes. Meaningless, not at all. Psychology explains it clearly. Human beings are wired for touch, and women in particular use it as a bridge to connection. Touch stimulates oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which not only makes her feel safe, but also deepens intimacy. When she touches you, it isn't just random contact, it's her body saying, I feel close to you, I trust you. And there are levels to this. At first, it might be accidental. Her hand grazing yours when you're walking side by side. If she's attracted, it doesn't stop there. Her touches grow intentional. Fingers on your chest when laughing, brushing lint off your shirts. And even when nothing's there, her hands staying on your back as you walk through a doorway. She finds excuses to close the gap between you. Think about this. Every human being has a personal space bubble. When someone you don't like invades it, you move away instantly. But when someone you desire enters it, you allow it, sometimes even crave it. Women express this attraction through repeated, deliberate touch. A man once described how he ignored all these signals from a colleague he liked. She touched his arm, played with his watch, leaned on his shoulder, but he thought, she's just being friendly. Only years later, when he learned about body language, did he realize she wasn't just friendly. She was asking him to close the distance. So next time a woman keeps finding reasons to touch you, don't overthink it. Don't freeze. Recognize it for what it is. Her silent way of saying, I want to be closer. 3. Hips. The ancient language of attraction. Watch closely when she walks past you. Is her stride normal, casual, or does it shift when she knows your eyes are on her? Women have used hips as a silent tool of attraction for thousands of years. Science backs this up. Studies on nonverbal courtship behavior show that hip sway intensifies when a woman is aware of male attention. It's instinctive, tied to deep evolutionary signals of fertility and desire. Think about it, the exaggerated sway, the rhythm of her steps. It isn't random. It's an unconscious performance of attraction, a kind of dance older than language itself. When a woman is drawn to you, her body exaggerates, curves to highlight fertility cues. This doesn't mean she's even aware of it. It's primal. Psychologist Carl Grammer noted how female movement changes subtly when they're ovulating, signaling peak fertility without a single word being spoken. Her hips move slower. Her walk becomes deliberate and her body almost seems to say, "Notice me." Here's the kicker. Men often notice it, but don't interpret it. They think she just walks that way. But if her stride shifts only when you're around or her walk becomes noticeably fluid as she approaches you, that's no coincidence. It's attraction disguised as casual movement. One guy once told me how he ignored a girl's hip sway for weeks, assuming it was her natural gait, but later she admitted she did it more when he was nearby, almost to see if he'd catch on. That's the truth. Women often want you to see, but they don't want to spell it out. So the next time she sways, pay attention. That rhythm isn't just about walking. It's about pulling you in silently, saying, "I know you're watching, and I want you to." 4 eyes, windows to her hidden thoughts. They say the eyes never lie. And in female psychology, that's absolutely true. You felt it before. That intense moment when she locks her gaze on you, pupils dilated, and for a second, the world goes quiet. That's not just random eye contact. That's chemistry. Science explains it like this. When we're aroused or deeply attracted, dopamine floods the brain. The pupils dilate, widening without conscious control. Her eyes soften and her gaze lingers longer than socially normal. If her eyes flick down to your lips and back up to your eyes, it's a silent cue. She's already imagining closeness, even if she's not admitting it. Here's where men fail. They look away too fast. They're afraid of holding eye contact. But when you break it too soon, you miss the silent conversation happening right in front of you. Eye contact builds tension, intimacy, and trust. A study from Harvard showed that prolonged eye contact can trigger feelings of closeness even between strangers. Now imagine that with someone already attracted to you. There's another detail. When she keeps looking back at you, even in a crowded room, she's tethered to you mentally. The gaze may break, but it always returns. That's attraction, plain and simple. A man once shared how a woman at work always looks, cared at him, eyes flicking down, then away. He ignored it, thinking she was just being polite. Later, she confessed she had been interested for months, waiting for him to notice. So remember, her eyes reveal what her lips won't say. Hold the gaze. Don't run from it, because often it's her boldest confession without words. 5. Proximity, the space she allows you. Space tells the truth. Every human has an invisible bubble around them called personal space. When strangers invade it, we feel uncomfortable. But when someone we like steps in, we not only allow it, we welcome it. Women use this to show attraction without words. Imagine you're at a party. She could stand anywhere, but she chooses to stand close. Or maybe she leans in to hear you even when the room isn't that loud. Maybe her knee touches yours and she doesn't move it. These are not accidents, they're silent invitations. Psychologists explain that proximity signals trust, safety, and desire. A woman will never let a man she dislikes remain too close. She'll shift, step back, or angle her body away. But if she likes you, the opposite happens. She stays, she leans, she closes the gap. Story. One man described how his crush always sat beside him in group settings, brushing knees or leaning in. He thought nothing of it. Years later, she admitted it was deliberate. "I wanted to be near you, but you never noticed," she said. That's how subtle proximity can be. Loud if you know the language, silent if you don't. So here's the rule. If she doesn't move, away. If she allows you into her bubble and lingers there herself, that's interest. That's her body saying, you belong closer. 6. Micro expressions. The the split-second truth. Here's where it gets really fascinating. Words can lie, but micro-expressions, those tiny flashes of emotion, cannot. A. Woman may be guarded, shy, or even deliberately trying to hide her feelings, but her face will always betray her for a split second. Micro-expressions last less than half a second. It could be a sudden half smile, a flash of widened eyes, a quick eyebrow raise, or even a subtle flare of the nostrils. They appear and vanish before she can control them, and they reveal attraction in its rawest form. For example, imagine you walk into a room and she glances at you. In that microcond, her eyes widen slightly, her lips twitch into a suppressed smile. She may instantly cover it up, but you caught it. That's the truth leaking out. Psychology researchers like Dr. Paul Ekman prove that micro-expressions are universal. They cut through culture, upbringing, and conscious control, which means if you train your eye, you'll see what most men never do. A guy once said he ignored these flashes from a woman because he thought he imagined them. Later, when he understood micro-expressions, he realized she had been silently broadcasting interest all along. The beauty is micro-expressions don't just show attraction, they show depth of feeling. They're the split-second truth her words are too afraid to carry. So next time you're in her presence, don't just listen, watch. Pay attention to the flickers across her face, because her body language may whisper, but her micro-expressions shout the truth, even if only for half a second. And there you have it, 6 powerful psychology-backed facts about women's body language that most men completely overlook. The lips, the touch, the hips, the eyes, the space, the fleeting micro-expressions. Each one is a window into her hidden desire. The question is, are you aware enough to see it? If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button. It means a lot. Subscribe to Echoes of Stoicism for more deep insights into love, psychology, and human behavior. And drop a comment below. Which body language sign have you noticed the most in women? I'll be reading your answers. Until next time, remember, attraction is rarely spoken, but it's always shown.